Hey, what's going on? What's going on? This is another episode of the Bad Boy Live on YouTube for May 31st, 2026. How y'all doing? Now we do from old to new, apply the word to you. Gonna be the double header today because I missed this episode last week. So we're just pretty much doing the double header of on the Old Testament side, and that would do it. But like I said, from old to new, apply the word to you. Where we last left off, to Isaiah chapter 14. Um, and as always, there will be a summary to get us a better understanding of the whole chapter in general. And so let us get right to it. Get right to it. Isaiah chapter 14. Um, the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, set them in their own land. The strangers we joined with them, they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them, bring them to their place. The house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, with the servants and the handmaids, and they shall take them captives. Those captives they were, and they shall rule over the oppressors. It shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage, wherein thou wast made to serve. Remember verse chapter 14, verse 3. That thou shalt take up the proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger and persecuted, and none hindered it. The whole earth is at rest, and it is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at the in the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no filler is come up against thee. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirs up the dead, and for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth, it hath raised up from their thrones, and all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say to thee, art thou also become weak as we, or thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and thy noise of thy vials, and the worm is spread under the tree. Worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from the earth, heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Remember verse chapter 14, verse 12. But thou hast said unto thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, it is the man that made the earth to tremble. It did shake kingdoms. It made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. It opened not the house of his prisoner. All the kings of the nations, even all them that lie in glory, every one of his house, own house. Uh, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. As the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, and go down to the stone of the pit, as a carcass trodden upon the feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed the land and slain the people. The mm, seed of the evildoer shall never be renowned. Prepare the slaughter for his children or for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. I will rise up against them, saith the Lord. I will rise up against them, saith the Lord. I will cut off from Babylon the names and remnant, son and nephew, saith the Lord. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have done, so shall it come to pass, as I have proposed. Oh, shall it stand. Oh, just a minute, water break. I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts. I will cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, said the Lord. I will also make it a possession with the bitterns and pools of water. I will sweep it with the bosom, the besom of destruction, said the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts shall sworn, saying, hath sworn, saying, surely as I thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have proposed, so shall it stand. Remember verse chapter 14, verse 24. And I will break the Syrians in my hand, in my land. I will upon my mountains, tread him underfoot, and shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is proposed on the whole earth. That is the hand that is stretched out for all the nations. The Lord of hosts has proposed, and who shall this annul it. His hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Remember verse chapter 14, verse 27. In the year that King Ahaz died, was this burden. Rejoice not thou, O Palestinian. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestinian, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. While out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and its fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. I got some prophecy. What's the name on it? Chapter 14, verse 29. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill the root with famine. And he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, O city, thou, Palestinian, are dissolved. The earth shall come from the north and smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord had founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. Alrighty, let's go to the summary. See what this one is all about. Isaiah chapter 14 is all about. Okay, Isaiah chapter 14 summary. Isaiah chapter 14 contains God's message of judgment, especially against the kingdom of Babylon. For its point, Israel will be restored. Verses 1 to 2, God promises to show mercy to Israel. The people will return to their land after their time of suffering and exile. Nations that once opposed them will no longer rule over them. Second point, a taunt against the king of Babylon, verses 3 to 23. They describes the downfall of the proud kingdom of Babylon. The ruler who once oppressed the nations is brought low and loses his power. The chapter emphasizes that human pride and arrogance cannot stand against God. Verse 12 to 15 contain the famous passage about Lucifer, Latin now, Latin for morning star in some translations, for having one who sought to exalt himself, but was cast down. Christians have often seen this as having a dual meaning, referring both to the king of Babylon and symbolically to the fall of Satan. Verses 12 to 15. Third point, God declares the Assyrians' power will be broken. His plans will stand, and no nation can stand what he has determined. Fourth point, warning of Philistia. The Philistines are warned not to celebrate because an enemy king has died. Greater trouble is coming to them. God will protect Zion and accomplish his purposes. And the main message, to sum up Isaiah chapter 14, Isaiah chapter 14 teaches that God opposes pride, judges wicked rulers and nations, remains faithful to his people. No earthly power is greater than God's authority. No earthly power is greater than God's authority. All righty. That sums it up, folks. Isaiah chapter 14, let's go to the next one. Go down the road a little bit more, and that's Hosea. Okay. Final one of this doubleheader. Hosea chapter 4. Hosea chapter 4. Okay, hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel. For the Lord has had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out the blood and touches the blood. Therefore shall all the land mourn, and every one of that dwelleth therein shall languish with the breast of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another for thy people. And as they that strive with the priest, therefore shall thou shalt fall in the day, and the prophets shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of God. I will also forget thy children. Remember verse chapter 4, verse 6. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, will I change their glory unto shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on iniquity. And there should be like people, like priests. I will punish them for their ways and their Man, mm, okay. Okay. They shall eat up the sin of my people, and they shall set their heart on their iniquity. The earth shall be like people that are like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. Uh, there shall be like for their ways and reward them for their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and but they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and they shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and the wine and new wine take away their heart. The heart. People ask the council at their stocks and their staff declare it unto them, for the spirit of the whoredoms have committed, caused them to. People ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declare it unto them. Mm, we're gonna get there. Woo. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, man, oh man. I could, nah, but I gotta read it sometime. Can't let my new system do it all. People ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff are declared unto them. But the spirit of whoredoms has causes them to err, and they have gone whoring from under their God. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills. Do the oak tree under oak trees and poplars and elms, because the shadow therefore increases. I will not punish your daughters when they commit a whoredom, or your spouse when they commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit a whoredom, or your spouses when they or your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores. They should sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that doth not. Okay. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, or your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that does not understand shall fall. Uh, Though thou Israel played the harlot, yet let not Judah offered and come not ye unto the Gilead. Offer and not Judah offend. Come not unto Gilead, neither ye go to Bethaven, nor swear the Lord liveth. For Israel slided back as a backsliding heifer. The Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Even from his joining to idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her arms, their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her ruler would not with shame over Israel. Mm-hmm. Her rulers with shame do love give ye. Hmm. We gonna get to near the finish line. Okay, man. The wind had bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifice. Whew, man, ain't no man. All right, let's do it for that one though. So when's the double header of the Beltway Live for YouTube on YouTube? Keep in mind the memory verses. Keep in mind the summary that I'm about ready to read. All right. Okay, Hosea chapter 4 summary. Hosea 4 is God's accusation against the people of Israel because they have turned away from him. First point, first summary. First point, Israel's sin exposed. Verses 1 to 3. God says there is no faithfulness, love, or knowledge of him in the land. The people are guilty of lying, stealing, murder, adultery, and violence. People, violence. Because the sins the land suffers. Because of the sin the land suffers. And a person. Mm-hmm. Because of their sins, the land suffers, and even animals and nature are afflicted. So second point, the priests are condemned, verses 4 through 10. Uh, the priests who should have taught God's law have failed in their responsibility. God says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Mhm. The priests who have taught God's people are guilty of lying, stealing, murder, adultery, and violence because of their sins. And the land suffers, even the animals are in nature are affected. The priests are condemned, verses 4 through 10. The priests who should have taught God's law have failed in their responsibility. God says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Since the priests rejected God's truth, they and the people will face judgment. Third point, idolatry and unfaithfulness. Verses 11 through 19. The Israelites worship idols instead of God. They seek guidance from pagan practices rather than for the Lord. From idols instead of God. They seek guidance from pagan practices rather than from the Lord. Their spiritual unfaithfulness is compared to adultery. God warns. Mm, their spiritual unfaithfulness is compared to adultery. God warns that their persistent rebellion will bring consequences. Come on, hang in there, hang in there. Main lesson of Hosea chapter 4. Hosea chapter 4 teaches that rejecting God's truth leads to spiritual and moral decline. God desires his people to know him, remain faithful to him, and follow his ways. When people know him, remain faithful to him, and follow him. Hosea teaches that rejecting God's truth leads to spiritual moral decline. God desires his people to know him, remain faithful to him, follow his ways. When people turn to sin and idolatry, they will separate themselves from his blessings and face the results of their choices. The results of their choices. Whew. Well, all right. Made it good by God, by the grace of God, made it through. If you want to do this type of work, make sure you get a lot of rest. Yeah, if you want to do this type of work, podcasting and vlogging, make sure you get a lot of rest. But I would do it for Hosea chapter 4, uh, remind the memory verses in the summary, and to yeah, I know it do. And if you uh, to get in touch with this podcast, go get on YouTube. Like and subscribe, of course, and but get on YouTube. Type in mm, mm, let me see. I can subscribe to the thing about productions. But to get in touch, I gotta get. I know what I'm doing. Next time I'm on here, give out my link if you want to get in touch with this profile. I mean this this vlog, uh, the Bad Boy Live. You want to get in touch with Bad Boy about the Bad Boy Live, of course, on YouTube. Uh, there's yeah, but just type in the link there. I'm gonna give out next week. Whenever. Hopefully, I ain't too busy. But type in the link. I'm gonna give out next week. But this would do it. Like I said, like and subscribe. With, I don't know. Let me see. I might be able. Let me end this right now.